What's going on, guys? SpellsKiNG with another video for you, and in this video what I want to do is tell a story of something that really creeps me out. It happened about 3 years ago. Kind of ghost-like, supernatural shit. Now, I'm not saying it's like paranormal activity shit or anything like that. And I'm not even sure I truly, really believe in that stuff. But regardless, what happened is really creepy. So I'll just give you just a little quick backstory before we kind of get into the actual storytelling here and why it's so fucking scary to me. So back in the day, this is almost 3 years ago, I checked the timestamp on the audio recording that I have of it, and just like I say, a little backstory. I used to roll with two cell phones. I had an iPhone, and then I also had a flip phone, which sounds really sketchy, I know, but I wasn't dealing drugs or anything like that. I promise, and this is probably going to only add more sketchiness to it, but very few people had my flip phone number and knew to call me at that number and knew that, hey, it was James that would be on the other end of this line. So what happened one day, like I said, this was a long time ago, really. This is almost 3 years ago. I came back to my apartment, and I had the flip phone sitting right around the door there, and I noticed that I had a voicemail, and I decided to listen to the voicemail. And this, guys, is what the voicemail said.
This is James's grandfather. I'll call back later. Thank you.
Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're like, wow, your grandfather called you James, or SpellsKiNG as it is. Now, I will explain myself, and in my mind, there are basically two things that make this really creepy, and I will start with the least creepy of the two. Here's why this is some kind of otherworldly, supernatural, ghost shit. Like, I don't even know. Listening to that message again really creeps me the fuck out again because of this. There's two things, really. Two things. First, number one, first and foremost, and this one is probably the most basic. That guy was not my grandfather, okay? Rest in peace to my grandparents, but before that call was made, my last grandparent was dead about 16 years. My grandfather died, and he was my final grandparent. 16 years before that phone call was made, my grandfather died, and he was my last living grandparent. That guy is not my grandfather, okay? He is not my grandfather. No, he's not my grandfather, okay? And so, that right there, when I hear that, I remember when I got that message, and I listened to that like a million times to try to see if I literally I was freaking out, okay? And so what I was listening for was that my grandfather's voice, first of all. Look, I know it sounds crazy. Like, I don't believe in this shit. I really don't, like... To say I do believe in like supernatural ghost shit, whatever, like paranormal activity. As many of you guys know, like movies like Paranormal Activity, exorcism movies and things like that, Blair Witch Project, they scare the hell out of me, but I don't really actually believe that stuff takes place, okay? So what really got me though with this, like I said, I must have listened to this message probably 50 times the day that I got it. I'm not even shitting you. Trying to exactly decipher what he was saying. I'm still a little hazy on what he actually said at first, which is why I put the question marks up. The whole listen up here, there's some debate about what he actually says, all right? But he says, James, it's grandfather, I'll call back later. And for the record, he never did call back later. I was actually waiting for a call, by the way. I was actually waiting for another call back because I wanted to see, like, I was a little worried, like, hey, this guy is very confused. And he's trying to actually reach out to his grandson, and, I'm not his grandson, and so I didn't know if I should call him back, or something to be like, hey, dude, I am not your grandson. I didn't do that, actually, I just kind of let it go, but that guy's not my grandfather. Now, aside from putting myself in some kind of, like, crazy mental state when I was literally listening to this, and honestly, yes, I was trying to, like, remember, because I was young when my grandfather actually did pass away, and so I was trying to remember, like, my grandfather's voice exactly, and I was like, you know what, I 100% know this guy is not my grandfather, not trying to communicate with me through a cell phone voicemail that, I did not recognize the voice. One little bit, okay, from when I was younger. I know for a fact that, and so what What also got me, now remember I said I had 2 cell phones at the time, and nobody, I mean, I'm talking like 95% of the people that would try to contact me would contact me via my iPhone, not this flip phone, right? So I never set up like a voicemail, greeting, message, whatever you want to call it, to say like, hey, this is James, please leave a message. Basically what happens when you call and nobody has a greeting set up, they basically say, mailbox number, cell phone number, blah 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 is unavailable. Please leave a message. Whatever the automated thing is, right? So there is literally no way that I can think of that this guy would know that my name is James. I'm telling you now. I know I should. I'm very bad at that. Even on my iPhone right now, I don't have a voicemail greeting set up. I'm almost 100% positive. So whatever the default message is still, if somebody calls me, that's what they're going to get. Mailbox number, blah, 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 is not available. Leave a message. And that is exactly what that guy got from that flip phone. So, what really fucking startled me, honestly, even to this day, it is a little chilling. And like I say, I don't even believe in supernatural shit. Like I said at the start, like maybe, I'm not sure if I believe it. No, like really I don't. Like I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in paranormal activity. I don't believe in somebody grabbing your foot and pulling you off the bed when there's really nobody there. I don't believe in communicating with other dimensions or other, whatever the fuck, Ouija boards, all that shit. Like I don't believe in any of that. But this guy had zero chance to know that my name was James. He had no way of knowing because I have no idea who he is. I didn't recognize the number when I saw that somebody had left me a message. I didn't recognize the voice. And he had no way to know that I was James, and how he assumed that James was his grandson when he didn't know that I was James in the first place. I haven't heard from grandfather since, by the way, so that's good. I think. I don't know. Like I say, I honestly, I think it's some guy that was confused, but what really gets me, it's not the fact that he would confuse me just, with somebody else. It's that he's calling a phone number that literally has no way of being identified back to me and being that I'm James. And he says, James, it's grandfather. I'll call back later. I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what to think about the whole thing, and I'm so glad that I actually recorded that. I'm sorry about the low quality audio from that, but I just recorded it off the speakerphone from the flip phone onto my iPhone, and so that's the audio that you're hearing. It is a 100% real voicemail, and I literally have no idea who the fuck that guy is, and if you guys honestly have questions, I can show you that audio is from 2014. I've got multiple savings of it because me and a couple buddies and things like that are always trying to identify what the hell he was truly saying, especially at the start, which I think he said listen up here, but I'm not really sure because it's hard to tell. And so I've got multiple recordings of it, and I can show, if you guys have questions, like for real, I can show you it's old. This is 100% not made up. I still have the cell phone, or I think I know I do actually. I still have the flip phone. I'm telling you, like, this scared the shit out of me. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. Please let me know what you think. I'm a little freaked out, honestly, thinking about this, but SpellsKiNG, peace. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.